like member don't like, you're gonna get smoked, and they're gonna shut the fuck up about it. Talking about getting smoked. Now, y'all tell me, for those that have read the information and have listened to it, right? I know there is a lot of people right now that believe that the victims got shot. We heard the narrative in the very beginning of this case that Kaylee got shot early. The Goncalves family first narrative that it was brought to them was that she got shot. Then we hear firecrackers. Then big shout out to Kelly Land. Thank you so much. Very appreciate it. And then now we're hearing firecrackers and all this other shit and this and this and that. Now they're hearing shots between the screams and all this other shit. So now you tell me, they hit Jack Decor and his friends. They hit Ethan and Sana at the grub truck while we look while Kara, Sana's mom, told me, that's my daughter and that's Ethan. Okay, this is what Kara said to me back then when I broke it down. That's Sana and that's Ethan. I need Sana's Apple Pay receipt from the grub truck, which we requested to Brett Payne. Where is it? That it would prove that Sana was there. Sana had an Apple product cell phone. You're gonna tell me that that cell phone didn't even put Sana exactly where she was? You're gonna tell me that cell phone didn't really calculate exactly how many steps she took? You're gonna tell me that her phone did not know exactly when she stopped breathing? Kara, her mom, know all these details. So if they hijacked the call, they hide Ethan and Sana where there was, because then he's gonna throw off their timeline. I told Moscow PD I had a conversation with Captain Dillinger. That right now, Captain Diligent back there, right now, he's the he's the chief of police. I had a conversation with the guy back then, and I told him exactly what I told ya. What I'm telling you is backed up by Kara, Sana's mom. She recognized her daughter in the grub truck footage. Is her clothes, her face, her nose, her voice, talking to the camera and everything. It was Sana. It was Ethan with Peyton and all the other girls. They hit Jack Decor. They hit Ethan and Sana while they in plain sight in the same video, in the same footage that Kaylee and Maddie were at the same time. They were waiting for their food in the grub truck. Ethan and Sana were ordering with their friends. The Sana paid for. Where is Sana Apple Pay receipt? Where's Sana cell phone or Apple Watch modern day information? Where is it? You said that at this day today you did not know where Ethan and Sana was when you know what they was. What are you talking about? I told you where they was and at what time they left the grub truck. In the same way, from the very beginning, I told you since 2023 when we was breaking down the grub truck camp. Back then, I was telling you, Dylan Morrison said that everybody was at home by 1:45. Is you fucking serious? That's how you know it's a fucking lie. Everything is a lie. They throwing off the time of death so that way it will hide the killers. That's the whole thing. Not identifying Ethan and Sana, not telling the world, which I told you a long time ago. Kaylee and Maddie left the grub truck by 1:58. 157, 158. They literally walked out of the grub truck by 158. In my opinion, 158 on the dotted. 158. They literally left Jack Showalker at the grub truck. At 158, they grabbed the order, they left. At 158, Ethan and Sana left the grub truck by 210 after they grabbed their order and left. By 210, Ethan and Sana left the grub truck. It's on footage confirmed by Kara, her mom. We told and reported to Moscow PD. I told Brett Payne personally. I told Brett Payne. I explained to Brett Payne exactly how you're going to get to the bottom of that information and how to prove me wrong. I told Brett Payne how to prove me wrong, and he proved me right. What the fuck is the Apple Pay receipt from Santa? Kara was requesting to you the Apple Pay receipt from Santa, and what you did, you locked her up. By the time Kara came out, she's a whole different Kara. Because you already brainwashed her and told her, like, listen, you need to watch out. A big shout out to Kara. And no, Kara's not compromised. She just has to be, it just is what it is. What can Kara do? Besides accepting defeat and deal with it. That's all she could do. It's nothing that she could do. She know the powers to be are all against her. And it don't matter if she knows the truth. It's nothing that she could do. That's why you don't see her talking no more. Because what's she going to say to fix the problem? When the problem right now is nothing that she could do about it. And it's sad. It's sad. Idaho think that they do things different and special. But going back to the conversation, we could see if they hid all this important material to get to the bottom of not just the time of death, but where everyone was and at what time. Okay. They hit Jack Decor, the accomplices. Okay. They hit if Kaylee got shot, torture, disfigure, mangle, everything that you could, all the bad things that you could do to a body, not just pre and post murder. So if Kaylee got shot, Moscow PD and the forensic department, the hit, if indeed is truth, in the same way they hit Jack Decor, in the same way they hit the timeline, in the same way they hit Ethan and Sana where they was, in the same way they hit it all, just to protect their asses and their credibility and their pristine, not caring about the students. So let's say if Kaylee actually got shot or anyone else in the house got shot, that's why the fireworks and all these other narrative about telling the Goncalves first news, Kaylee got shot. So if Kaylee got shot, they hit that. In the same way they hit in the timeline, and the same way they tried to hit the screams in the footage with the distortion, because then now you have to utilize modern day technology to process that clip of that sound and clean it. I promise you, after you process that sound clip through AI and tell AI to give you a transcript of the words that is being said, you'll be very surprised. you'll be very, very surprised. And don't tell me that the FBI don't have the